Hello. I was contemplating not making a video on this because I had already made a post on my community tab, as well as talked about it within my Discord server, and plenty of my mutuals and friends saw this entire thing go down. However, I thought making a video would help it reach a broader audience, so to speak, so that way more people are aware of what's happened, and so that way there's just, I don't know, more ears landing on the situation. My Instagram account was pretty important to me, and I had a lot of mutuals and a lot of friends on there, so I really just want this to, be spread a bit more, and so that way people are aware of it. I don't know how big this video will get. I doubt it'll be huge, but I know it'll get more reach than a community post, so I figured why not just do it. I apologize if I stutter or if I mess up my words at all. I'm not really using a script, and I'm still pretty upset over this whole thing, so I'm just kind of spitballing and going off the top of my head. Anyways, to get into the meat and potatoes of why I'm making this video, my Instagram account and all of my Instagram accounts have been suspended. My main account, my Doodle account, and every new account that I've been attempting to make in order to rebuild my audience and to regain contact with the friends and mutuals I had on my main one, it's all been getting taken down. This started due to a bigger artist seeing me within their following and growing very upset at the fact that I was following them, purely based off of the contents of my profile. They were not a fan of the things I was posting or of my art or just how I presented as a person. They didn't know me personally, so I can't say that they didn't like me, but they just didn't like my art and the stuff I was putting out. Instead of respectfully taking me off of their, following list or just quietly blocking me, they decided to post me on their story for their audience of over 3,000 people to view, which resulted in me getting harassed. Now, they could have just left it at the making the story posting fun at me, which resulted in me getting harassed. I can handle a little bit of teasing. I can handle some light insults. I'm pretty confident in myself as a person, and I like myself quite a bit. So being called a greasy edgelord doesn't really matter to me. That's probably a label that I would proudly own up to on one of my accounts, since I proudly rep that I am edgy and cringy. But no, they decided to take it much further by proceeding to accuse me of being the two worst things someone could be. Those two things being a pedophile and a racist. Now, obviously, it goes without saying that I am not a pedophile or a racist. However, their quote-unquote proof, I'm doing a little air fingers, you can't see it, but their quote-unquote proof for me being a pedophile and for being a racist were the contents of my now suspended spam account, where they saw a lot of my posts, which contained my story creations and my characters, as well as shitposting memes that I would repost that I found off of Twitter. Their first proof of me being a pedophile were the contents of my characters and of my stories. A lot of the themes within my works contain themes of sexual assault, child sexual abuse, incest, and child-on-child sexual assault. This is not because I'm a pedophile. This is because I am a victim of all of those things. And I think that that should be pretty glaringly obvious. I create art with themes that reflect my life due to the fact that I'm still actively in an abusive, unhealthy living situation, and I have no access to therapy or any kind of escape yet. Art is the only coping mechanism that I have, and it is the only voice that I have in order to talk about my experiences and the things that I actively go through. I have been suffering with all kinds of abuse, ranging from physical, emotional, mental, sexual, all of that, since my very, very early childhood. With my mother grooming me my entire life and me not even realizing up until very recently. With other people, such as older teens and straight up fucking grandpas, taking advantage of me as early on as within kindergarten. I have been groomed online more times than I can count. And I still actively live with my mother, the woman who I just said has been grooming me and sexually assaulting me her entire life. Not that it's your fucking business, but I am still getting sexually assaulted by this woman. I still live with her, and she still actively abuses me and takes advantage of me sexually. And like I said, I don't have any access to therapy yet, and I can't get out of this living situation yet. So my art and my creations are the only thing that I have to cope and deal with this as I slowly just kind of push through and work through what I can. Now that I'm older and I'm graduated, I am getting a little closer to being able to move out. I have a friend who's offered me to live with him once he moves out of his place. He lives in Rhode Island, so I'd be moving to Rhode Island, though obviously he hasn't gotten the house yet, so I can't move in just yet. I've also had other friends offer to let me room with them once their college starts. You know, I can move into their dorm, or any other friends I've had have offered to let me live with them once they move out. However, none of those people are moved out yet, and I am not financially stable enough to get my own place. So I am stuck here until I either get a better job, until I get a car, or until one of those living opportunities, one of those living spaces, the opportunity to roommate with someone opens up. So, you know, taking all of that into consideration, keeping that all in mind, for me, again, someone who is actively still being victimized and cannot escape yet, for me to use my art to cope is not unreasonable, and that doesn't equate to me being a pedophile. And for them to say that about me is, frankly, very, 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 very disgusting. And it's genuinely appalling. And as for the other claims, such as me being racist, their main proof was this image that I reposted onto my spam, which, as you can see, got 7 likes. This is not how racism works, and it's genuinely laughable that this is their only proof of me being a bad person. This thing that I pulled off of Twitter at like fucking 3 a.m. This is the proof that I'm racist and that I hate minorities. There is also a few other things which got brought up as proof that I am a bad person and a racist, with this proof being brought up by people from my past. Like I mentioned, this artist is much bigger than me, and the audience for this entire situation was so vast that, of course, it just had to land on the wrong kinds of people, had to land on the wrong kinds of eyes, land in the wrong audiences. So, people who I knew previously, who really don't like me, and who would rather see my head tore off and stuck on a pipe, Devilman Crybaby style, than move on with their lives. They got a glimpse at the situation. They saw it as an opportunity to spread shit around from my past. I have been contemplating making a video talking about my past because I would really, really love to get it all out of the way and to fully address it. However, it's all just so old that I don't even feel like, I don't know. It's something that I think about a lot, something that I contemplate a lot, and I'm just not entirely sure on whether or not I'll make a video addressing it. There are people in my audience who are still here from my past, specifically, you know, circa 2020 to 2022. Very not good time for me, very gross behavior for me, but I also need you to consider that I'm 18 now. And from 2020 to 2022, I was 12 to 14. And so that raises the question, should I really address my behavior from at the most recent 4 years ago and at the latest 6 years ago? I don't know. However, things from that era got brought up and were posed as if they were current, which then led to a lot more problems and things blowing up 10 times more, which led to a few funny things, such as the person in question denying that I'm Hispanic due to the fact that I'm white passing, which is just fucking chef's kiss beautiful, peak tier comedy, but I digress. So yeah, that's basically it. The entire situation ended with a whole bunch of arguing and a whole bunch of mass reporting. I think people from my side began to mass report their account in an attempt to get justice for me. However, that is not something that I ever condoned, and I'm frankly disappointed with the people who decided to do that. I don't know why they would think to do that. That's not something that I ever asked for or told anyone to do. I wasn't really talking too much about the situation with others, excluding from my friend who lives in Rhode Island, the one I mentioned earlier, and with people just DMing me for their condolences, saying that the situation was unfair and that they were sorry for me, and with me replying saying that I appreciated their DMs. That was it. I wasn't really, trying to plan any witch hunts. I wasn't trying to get anyone to harass them. I am very proudly anti-harassment. I believe that harassment does no good. And so for me, as someone who's anti-harassment, to go on and send people to harass someone that's harassing me doesn't really make sense. I'm not gonna fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? That's just silly, and all it does is inflate situations that everyone wants to deflate and pop already. Like, they just want it to go away. Though, regardless, people still did it, which, like I mentioned, led to the artist in question assuming that I was sending people to do that to them, which led to them doing it back to me. I can also assume that the people who started spreading this shit from 6 to 4 years ago also had a hand in mass reporting me and bothering me to no end, which I'm not surprised over. And that's basically how the situation ended. It ended with the mass reporting of many, many different accounts, including mine, and now it's gone. I have attempted to appeal the suspension on my main account, however, my first try didn't work due to the fact they apparently need a form of ID which has my date of birth and a photo of me. I don't have any form of identification with a photograph just yet. I'm going to go get my real ID next Monday, so hopefully by then I can use my ID and verify my identity and maybe get my account brought back, though I'm really not sure. I also really just hate that I have to give them my personal information in order to try and get my accounts back. I would just move accounts. However, like I mentioned at the start, every new account I make also gets suspended. So I can't really do anything besides either give up, which I'm absolutely not fucking doing, or give them my personal info. And I just love giving my personal deets to fucking millionaires and billionaires. Oh yes, it just feels so good. And that's basically it. That's the whole situation. My account suspended because someone didn't like that I made vent art and posted one meme with the N-word. And because people from my past who for some reason still haven't gotten over me proceed to try to ruin my life with information that's almost a decade old at the oldest and almost half a decade old at the most recent. So that's pretty cool. Because letting someone's past from when they were in elementary to middle school define them as a now graduated adult is totally reasonable and very logical, and definitely tells me that you are a sane person who should be trusted around weapons. Now, there is so much more that I could talk about with this situation, purely due to how fucking frustrated I am, and just at how ridiculous the entire thing even is. I have essentially lost one of my most successful platforms that I had the most friends and connections on due to fiction and due to memes, and that is just absolutely fucking insane to me. And I think this entire experience honestly could serve as a really good start for a really long discussion on the ways that fiction is treated online within fandom these days. I was actually heavily contemplating making a video talking about, fiction and taboos and the entire debate around pro and anti-shipping because it's a topic that I'm very, very, very passionate about and have been passionate about for about 1 to 2 years. I was contemplating not doing it just because I felt it would be too controversial, and I wasn't entirely sure on some of my stances on things, but I think this situation has really pushed me into a certain direction where I feel a lot more confident in my stances, and I think that I really could make a good video talking about it and sharing my experiences and overall just really diving into what makes people react this way. When they see things that they don't like online, and when they see art and ships and fiction and all those sorts of things that they just for some reason cannot handle. I think it's frankly very fascinating, and I think that it is, again, very good grounds to have a very good talk about purity culture and fandom culture within the modern day. But that's probably for a different video. That's for something else. This video is not about that. In the meantime, I will be posting more on here, more on Tumblr, and within my Discord server, which I'll be linking in the description in case any of my Instagram mutuals seem to come across this and would like to stay in contact. There are so many cool artists that I knew that I would absolutely love to remain in contact with, so I hope that I can build a little bit of a community back in my Discord server where I'll be posting and archiving all of my art, and I think it'd give a good chance for me to stay more in touch one-on-one with a lot more people. Like I said, I'll also be posting to Tumblr, and I'm going to experiment with Twitter as well. I have tried Twitter in the past, however, it never really worked for me, but I think I want to give it another shot, so we'll see how that goes. I will also link my Twitter in the description of this video in case anyone wants to go check it out. I will be giving updates on this entire situation with my Instagram account in my community tab and within my Discord server, and if I do get my account back, then I will make a follow-up video talking about it, and I will update the description on this video. But until then, things are just how they are. this entire situation has been very, very deeply upsetting, and I'm very frankly disappointed with the way that everything went. I'm extremely heartbroken that, again, my most favored platform that I was the happiest on has been stripped from me, and it's really depressing, and it's kind of killed my drive to even create at all. All day today, I have been just slumped in my room, very, very sad, which I hate to admit. I hate to admit when these kinds of things get to me because I like to stand strong and fight against it. But I can't lie, this has been bumming me out really fucking bad. And it's kind of killed my desire to even draw. I have been avoiding drawing all day just because I know that I have no solid platform to share it on. And obviously, I don't just create to share it, I create because I love to create, but sharing my art was really, like, fun. It was really nice. I loved having a community, I loved growing my audience. I was able to use that audience as an extra source of revenue, which was fantastic. I could post a your character here, and boom, all slots filled. I just made $100. Oh, here's commissions. Boom, all slots filled. I just made $200. It was really awesome. It was really cool, and I loved being able to do that. I have, like I mentioned a million times, other platforms such as Tumblr and here, but they are not as big and they do not as thrive as well as my Instagram did. I know that my YouTube channel has more subscribers than my Instagram account had followers. However, when it comes to like interaction and posts and everything, my YouTube community tab posts with my art did not do as well as my Instagram posts. So I just want to clarify that when I say like the biggest, I mean audience-wise, specifically for my art, not for my animations. But yeah, it's really killed my drive. It's really killed my desire to create right now. I have commissions that I need to work on, and Father's Day is coming up, so I gotta make a special gift for my Rhode Island friend who's my dad. Things like that I gotta do. So I will push through. But when it comes to making art for fun right now, I just don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I'm not quitting art forever, but I'm really dejected right now, and I'm really sad. So, because again, like, I just don't have anywhere to post this. Like, I would draw, and as I was drawing, I was looking forward to sharing it with people, and getting likes, and having people comment nice things, and growing my audience. And now that key part of my experience as an artist has been taken away, it's really depressing. And it makes me just not want to do anything. So, that's cool. Like I said, this feeling is definitely temporary. I'm going to work around it. And my account is not gone forever. I still need to get my ID. Once I get my ID, then there is a high-ish, maybe chance. I want to hope that there's a high chance that I'll get my account back. But if not, I will work around this. I had one of my other pretty big platforms back at the start of, I believe, last year, 2025, my Toy House. That got banned permanently. So I can never go back to Toy House. So that got taken away. I was bummed about it. I stopped making characters. I stopped doing so much stuff, but I jumped right back on my feet and I locked the fuck in. So if I could deal with that, this is just round 2 of that, and I can deal with it. I'll be all right. So yeah, we'll see how things go. Again, I'm going to have my Discord and my Twitter, as well as my other socials. I might as well linked in my description, so that way people can find me and so that way people can support me again. I will continue to give updates on this entire situation, so that way people are in the know. And yeah, that's what happened. If you have any questions, I don't know, comment, share this around if you can, because I would really love to find my mutuals and to find my audience again. And yeah, goodbye.